what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Saturday Night at the Movies podcast. My name is Mr. Meathook. I am joined today, as usual, by my co-hosts, Miss Cayt Phoenix.
Woo!
And the lovable, cuddly motherfucker, Brian String.
Hi.
What's everyone been up to?
Just trying to survive this crazy train, you know?
A gravy train?
Crazy train.
A crazy train. Well,
Wait,
all aboard.
They have gravy trains? I've heard of gravy boats, but they got trains?
That used to be a brand of dog food. I don't know if it still is.
I think it is.
So, how are you, sir? If people don't know, as we're recording, it's your birthday.
It is, which is why I changed. When I realized we were going to be recording on my birthday, I actually changed what we were going to be watching. We were going to do a kids movie, and it was something a little different instead.
Yeah, I don't think a 180 is the correct term for the jump that you did.
It's like a 540.
Yeah, just all over the freaking place.
You like hit fucking light speed to make that jump.
I was like, creepy puppy dogs or kitty cats or rotting corpses?
Rotting corpses. Always go with the rotting corpses.
Well, yeah, it's my birthday. I am now 22 and a half for the second time. And I literally just sat around all day watching movies.
That's your God-given right.
Yep.
So it sounds like a pretty damn good birthday.
It was a good birthday. I mean, where was I going to go? California's still closed.
Do you have a date of when everything's opening, or?
Okay, so they're talking about loosening up some of the governor's guidelines, but basically he said that retail and restaurants can't reopen, and like he's leaving it to the counties, but the guideline they have to stick to is there cannot have been any COVID-related deaths in the last 14 days.
Wow.
I'm in a county of 2.4 million people. It's going to be a while till we don't see any deaths.
Yeah, so your governor was just pretty much like, not my fucking problem. You guys figure it out.
Pretty much, yeah.
I wonder if he's out there playing golf with Bill Murray.
Probably. I mean, golf courses are open.
All the things.
Golf courses and tennis courts are open. That's about it.
That's about it.
Because that's places that, I mean, you can quite easily social distance there. There's guidelines there, like if you get golf carts, everybody has to have their own golf cart, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you can't like share carts like you normally do. It's one person per cart.
One person per cart, yeah.
I guess it's better than nothing. I mean, our stuff is slowly opening up daily, but our stay-at-home order is still through the end of the month.
Florida and Georgia are just like, hey, it's potty time.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all fucked up the ocean already. The nerve.
So what you guys been watching?
The last episode we had talked about Scoob coming out, and we were wondering how it would fare with everything. From what I'm hearing, a lot of people are watching it, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And I was one of the people that ended up watching. I actually bought it because I love Scooby so much. If you know me, you know I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan. So it's people have issues saying that it's a superhero movie. And my thought process is Blue Falcon has already been established with the franchise. Like, you go back a decade or so ago, the character was already there. So, really them saying it's a superhero movie is just a bunch of crap. Because there still is a mystery in the movie. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Thought it was a lot better than those troll movies that are out there.
Hey, nothing is better than Troll.
Not those trolls.
I thankfully have yet to watch either of those films, so
Same here.
I watched both of them. I didn't care for them. I could see the appeal for them, but it's just not my thing.
more than likely I will eventually watch it when they become a $5 dump bin Blu-ray is what will happen.
Probably
both, not each, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say get that double pack. So I watched Scoob. Then I ended up picking up Inception in 4K, which was glorious. For those that haven't seen Inception, it was done by Christopher Nolan in between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, I believe. Because most of the cast of Inception is in Dark Knight Rises. It's an excellent movie, and visually it's stunning. Story-wise, it's amazing. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And then we went to the drive-in over the weekend, because the drive-in never dies, like Joe Bob says.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed a movie called The Vast of Night, which was a really amazing slow burn thriller / sci-fi movie that's set in the 1950s.
So I would hate it.
I don't think you would hate it. It's not done like Midsommar or Hereditary.
Okay.
So it's going to be on Prime at the end of the month.
Okay. I'll check it out.
So it was an Amazon Studios movie.
Oh, okay.
So I thought it was really well made. And for the budget I'm sure they did really good with it. And then they had Super 8 playing on the back half.
Super 8. I think I've seen it. That's a Spielberg movie, right?
Spielberg and J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Where the kids are making the movie and
right.
The train crashes and the alien pops out.
Right.
And yeah, that's all I got other than what we were talking about tonight.
Cayt?
So I watched, I didn't watch as many as I did last week, but I watched A Dog's Breakfast with David Hewlett and essentially like half the cast from Stargate Atlantis, because they actually filmed it during the like one of their breaks. So that was actually really fun, dark comedy. Then watched Hellraiser Judgment. I actually really liked it. I did not hate it at all. Anything new I thought I was going to hate, but I actually really, really liked it. Especially the first, I would say the first 5 minutes of the movie were really surprising that they just started it immediately. Then watched Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was bored.
Knock Knock, more like Bye Bye.
Well, with it, the thing that kept my attention were the two hot chicks in it.
I was at the hot chicks and Keanu. But
yeah,
even that, Eli Roth still fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, I found myself playing on my phone and I wasn't impressed. I did watch Dark Side of the Moon for the first time, the 1990 film. And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. And then watched the Vinegar Syndrome release of Hollywood Horror House, which was different than what I expected it was going to be. But really liked that one too. And then tonight, watched James and the Giant Peach because I freaking love that movie.
Oh, such a good movie.
I've not seen that.
I really hope they don't fuck it up with the remake.
They will.
I forgot that they're doing a remake.
Yeah.
Oh, I did also watch, rewatched Atlantis and Treasure Planet. Have either of you seen those?
Treasure Planet was Treasure Planet was the Treasure Island, but in space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say two of the most underrated Disney films.
I would say Atlantis is great. Return to Atlantis, not so much, but
well, it's because it was actually supposed to be a TV show that was they essentially took the 3 episodes and combined them into a film, and it didn't work out.
But yeah, I gotta say I agree with you on the Hellraiser movie. Was it the best Hellraiser movie? No, but I think Paul Taylor gets a lot of flack just because
it was visually amazing. Like the first scenes when he's hooked up to the typewriter and you see all of that. That was actually, it was really cool to see that. Definitely, I think the first, I would say 5-10 minutes of the film are what instantly drew me in, though.
Yeah. I mean, Paul Taylor I thought was really good as Pinhead, and he just gets a lot of flack just because he's not Doug Bradley.
Yeah, but I think he did a good job. Plus, he's got Doug Bradley's seal of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand why people are so, but people are going to complain about anything. So
yeah. So I think with the Hellraiser movie or TV show, whatever they're doing, if Doug isn't going to come back, they need to get Paul to return.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get that guy from Revelations, or we like to call the good value Hellraiser.
Walmart pinhead.
Yep.
It's more like a Dollar General.
Dollar Tree.
Yeah. Daryl, what movies have you been watching?
What have I been watching? Okay, the first thing I watched was it was a Sub Rosa release called Prison of the Psychotic Damned. I liked the location. They filmed it in an abandoned, like one of those big opulent bus terminals they had in the bus and train terminals they had in like the 30s. They filmed it in an abandoned one of those in Buffalo, but the movie itself, not a fan. But the location was really cool. So, I mean, it did have that going for it. I wouldn't say that, like, it's a piece of shit, no one should ever see it, but yeah. If you want to watch it for the locations, it's part found footage and part not. It's about some paranormal investigators, and, you know, it's a normal paranormal investigation movie. People disappear, and they got to try to figure out what's going on, and it sucks.
It just sucks.
It sucks. And then I got a brand new TV, so I was breaking that in with the Wishmaster collection. I watched all 4 of them. 3 and 4 were for the first time. Now I know why.
I would say I will give them part 3. Part 4 was trash.
I always have loved the original Wishmaster. Some of the visual effects have not aged well. I will absolutely give it that. I think in the right hands, a remake could even be a good idea. I think 2 is a solid follow-up. 3 was whatever, but 4, yeah, like you said, it's just fucking trash.
Yeah.
I think even with the effects... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say Wishmaster, the 2-pack of the first 2 was one of the first DVDs I bought when they were coming out.
I would say with it, like, even though some of the effects don't hold up, I think it's still, as far as acting and story go, I think it's still a really good film.
Yeah, I think it's. I would put it up in my personal top 3 horror movies of the 90s.
Wow.
And no, Scream's not in that top 3. My top 3 would probably be Candyman, Wishmaster, and then probably Dead Alive.
Okay.
I saw your, not to take away from that, but I saw your picture of your Blu-ray, your double feature. Oh no, you said Dead Alive. Sorry.
I'm coming to that. And then today I just watched a couple movies. Well, I've watched. It took me about 3 hours, but I got through Wishmaster 4 this morning. It took me like 3 hours to watch an 85-minute movie.
Dang.
It's just, it's bad. But then this afternoon I watched Terror Vision. With Diane Franklin and Garrett Graham and freaking Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
I feel like that's definitely one we should cover.
Oh, I would love to cover that one. If you guys have, I'm sure the 2 of you have seen it, but the listeners haven't seen it. That movie's fucking wacky with some crazy special or practical special effects. Unfortunately, it's now out of print, so it's going to get really expensive. But if you can find a way to check it out cheaply, do it.
I like the theme song to it.
And then lastly, I watched Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers.
Trying to remember, that's the cover with the glove and Jason's mask and everything in the backpack.
Yes. Yeah.
The one. Being in that backpack,
I enjoyed that one a lot.
That backpack's being carried by someone that's not in the movie.
Yeah. Then you watch it.
Yeah, I really liked that one a lot, actually.
I know people that prefer it to the original.
I like part 1. I mean, there's when you go into it not knowing anything about it, and there's, the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But I think part 2 overall, continuing through it, is a more enjoyable film.
It's definitely more fun because, I mean, the effects in part 1 are still great. They've aged great, but the fucking wardrobe, the acting is definitely questionable at times. But I mean, you're talking about a bunch of 13 to 17-year-old kids too.
I was I really
part 2.
Remember part 2 and 3, so I'll have to rewatch them.
Don't remember part 2 and 3. What?
No. It's been a long time since I've watched them. So.
Apparently.
Cause I have that the original box set.
Oh, the survival kit?
Yeah, when it came on DVD.
Yeah, the Anchor Bay one?
Yeah.
Is there anything else new going on, guys?
Pretty much same old
Yeah.
in this, except
anything to cover before we go on to the Midnight Movie Madness and then on to the main event?
Well, all right. So, because I was talking to Christy about this earlier today, our good friend Christy at Number of Toys. We were talking about the new, well, not really new, but the Halloween Funkos that were announced today. So they have a 10-inch Chucky from Child's Play 2 coming out. And then they have an advent calendar with 13 of the mini pops for Halloween coming out.
Huh.
So, let's see. For the advent calendar, you got Annabelle, It, Little Shop of Horrors, The Shining, Nun, Beetlejuice, Exorcist, Elm Street, 13th, and Lost Boys.
it's a really random group of Funkos to throw in a calendar.
Well, I mean, they're the little tiny ones. So if I had to guess, they're probably like the ones that were like the keychain size.
I was gonna say like pint size.
Yeah, like the mystery packs. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, for like, like a little kid or something, I think they would enjoy that.
Yeah, they would love to choke on that.
Yeah, well, kids get those Lego advent calendars.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah, everything's an advent calendar now. You can get socks as advent calendars.
What the fuck?
There is a wine and cheese advent calendar.
Well, I'm down for that.
I approve of that one.
Yeah,
they have it at Aldi's every
year. Especially the cheese part.
So, but I thought they were really cool. I mean, I'll probably end up getting the Chucky one just because, I mean, it's Chucky.
10-inch, so the price point's going to be what? Probably $60-$70?
No, those are like 20.
I think they're usually like 25 to 30.
I'm sorry, the 10-inch are 30. I was thinking of the 18-inch, like they did with Batman and Daryl Dixon.
Oh yeah, no, those are like super expensive. The 10s go anywhere from 20 to 30, depending on property.
Right.
So I mean, oh no, I got the King Kong one for 20.
Oh wow.
So
I think I got the Porg for 20. I say I'm not a Star Wars fan, and then I have to own the cute things from Star Wars, though.
She says she's not a Star Wars fan, but she's holding Baby Yoda right now.
She's a closet Star Wars
cuddling
fan.
with Baby Yoda.
Okay, so let's be real here. I like the original 3, and I like the Mandalorian, and I like the adorable Porgs. But any movie that the Porgs have been in has been utterly awful.
Okay, that's a fair assessment, I guess. Because essentially they're just remakes of the original 3. Yeah. So, I mean, they were better than the prequels.
Okay, but so are kidney stones.
Well,
just all of it. Well, and then the fact that Disney owns them now and just stamps
everything.
Everything with Star Wars, including oranges, guys. Oranges.
Where are they like the shape of a Death Star?
No, they come in a bag that says Star Wars on them. When one of the newer ones came out, they were like advertising on the bag of oranges. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Well, that's stupid. At least carve the Death Star into one of them.
The only thing I will approve of that is the marketing for Baby Yoda. Like, that is it.
Yeah, they're like pushing that massively right now.
Well, yeah.
Not gonna lie, I own. Yeah.
Well,
I bought a beach towel.
Still haven't watched Mandalorian.
What the fuck?
What? Okay.
Still haven't watched it. Which now I have to because my boy Timothy Oliphant got casted for season 2.
So what if I were to just make the first episode the movie that I say I would do? Just pick the first episode instead. You'd have to watch it then.
Well, at that point, if we're doing a first episode, we might as well just do the whole thing because it's only 7 episodes. Is that about right?
7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
So at that point, might as well just do the whole series. I mean,
you just have to remember when you watch it, it's not one of these binge shows that Netflix has as far as when it comes to storyline. It's very much old school, like Star Trek.
Oh yeah,
or Stargate.
From what I heard, each episode could be its own thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is something I missed. I don't need an hour-long episode of or 5-hour-long episodes of the same thing over and over.
Walking Dead.
Yes. House of what was it? Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, I like that show.
That took me so long to get through.
I like that show.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get through that.
Did you know it has nothing to do with the novel?
Yes.
Nothing.
They had to change some stuff, yes.
They stole the name they took the name and then made their own thing. Used some of the names of the characters.
Yeah, that's Hollywood for you.
So basically, it's the Netflix version of World War Z.
Of what did you say?
I said
World War Z.
World War. It's basically the Netflix version of World War Z.
Oh, World War Z.
They just took the name and ran with it.
Yep.
Oh, this has zombies? Okay, yeah, we'll make a movie. Get the rights. Okay, now we're going to make the movie. It's going to be nothing like the book.
It made its money, so.
And it doesn't mean that it's a good movie.
Well, Brad Pitt would disagree with you.
Brad Pitt would disagree with any movie that he is in being bad.
Probably.
So let's go ahead and jump into the... I can't believe it's taking me this long. It has taken me 8 weeks to get here. But today's Midnight Movie Madness is on the 2015 Todd Sheets fucking Splatterfest Dreaming Purple Neon.
Great movie.
It is.
Who would you think of that one?
It's a fucking... I love that movie. I really need to get a hold of the drive-in version of it. Have you heard about the drive-in version?
No, I was just going to say I haven't heard of that one.
Okay. Well, because the movie itself is already almost 2 hours long, but he has a version of it that's almost 3 hours long.
Damn.
And it's basically nothing but even more gore and even more nudity.
Wow.
Yeah, Dreaming Purple Neon was made for, I think he said $6,500. And it's fucking nuts. And if you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
I would say I definitely really liked that one. House of Forbidden Secrets is still my ultimate favorite. But I think Dreaming Purple is probably number 3. I don't count Clownado in my favorites because I'm in it, and I feel like that's biased.
Well, that's fine. You got us two that will count it.
Yeah. I love Clownado. There's a reason I own 6 copies of it.
God damn.
I have 2 VHS, 2 DVD, and 2 Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah, you got the horror boob one, right? VHS?
No.
The fuzzy pink one?
Oh, that's horror boobs?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then yes, I have that one. And then I have
Super
one
jealous
that
I don't even have
and then I have one that he was selling at the screening.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I didn't even get that one either.
Yeah.
I feel
I sadly missed out on the VHS as well.
But yeah, I have the cotton candy one. One of my friends was at Texas Frightmare and they picked one up for me. And then they had Todd and Antoine sign it for me.
Well, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I've got some cool friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because me and Tilly were there talking with them.
Yeah.
Because I got them to sign the Clownado and then...
Yeah, the poster that's over here.
Yeah, and then Todd had some Bonehill Road posters as well.
Yeah.
And he signed for me and everything.
Sorry not to take away from your spot talking about a completely different film.
So we're ready to talk about this week's pick?
I say go for it.
This week's pick is the 2014 film written and directed by Stephen Biro.
American Guinea Pig, Bouquet of Guts and Gore.
And starring Cayt the Chosen One, Ashley Lynn Caputo, and Miss Cayt Phoenix herself.
Yeah.
Credited under a different name, but we won't go there.
Let's not. Let's just stick with Cayt Phoenix.
So, Brian, this was your first watch?
Yes. So I knew about them. I knew about them all because of you.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the first time I physically sat down and watched it.
No. You don't watch American Guinea Pig. You experience American Guinea Pig.
Oh, yes. This was definitely an experience.
So what was your opinion of the movie?
To be fair, I really can't call it a movie.
That's
because it's under an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's 73 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 73 minutes.
Why did my counter say it was like 50-some minutes?
I don't know. Unless I have a different version than you.
Well, you have that 3-disc.
Yeah.
I don't.
My
I think
version's
it's still the
73
same.
minutes. I think it's still the same. I just have I have the soundtrack and then a disc full of bonuses, bonus features.
I don't know. For some reason, my counter on it only said it came in like under an hour. To be fair, there's really no story to it, so I can't really consider it a movie per se.
It's a showcase of special effects talent, basically.
Yes. So
it's torture porn
at its purest. Yes.
Yes. I think people, they're like, oh, Saw and Hostel and all that's torture porn. No, this is torture porn. Literally. Y'all some sick motherfuckers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, nothing anyone can tell you can really prepare you for these movies.
No. I mean, I knew full well what I was getting into from the get-go. So that didn't bother me. Obviously, because we were talking about it. I'm like, just finished it, about to go make a pizza.
Yeah.
So I don't think normal people would be doing that after watching.
Most people will be like, just finished it, about to go lose my pizza.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they just wouldn't even finish it.
I think a lot of people would turn it off.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So did you like it then, Brian?
I did. The special
it's okay
effects.
If you don't.
Yeah, no, the special effects in it were very well done.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some special effects were pretty cringe-worthy, but I chalked that all up to budget. Like, they did what they had to do based on what they had. So I can't fault them for that. But overall, like, if you're looking for something that's just blood and gore and boobs, like, this is your movie. Like, that's all it is.
You know what, though? I don't think anyone's going to watch this movie and be like, yeah, all right, boobs. No one's going to do that in this fucking movie.
You know what? I think they would at first. Because, our very own Cayt, who is not shy at all whatsoever.
No.
She has flat out come out and said on the show she hates clothes. So
truth.
So I mean, from that sequence, where it's essentially she has all her clothes cut off and everything. From that moment, people will be like, "Ooh, boobs! Yes, this is a great start." But then everything else starts going on, and I could just picture Kevin Hart just like looking all in shock, like, "What? No. What are you doing? No."
No,
I still have that shirt, by the way.
Don't cut her hand off. Don't cut her hand off. Why are you cutting her leg off?
Yeah, I got to keep the go-go shirt, which was pretty cool. It's restitched up.
That's cool.
We filmed out of order.
I was at, how long did it take for like the makeup for you? Because it's very heavy prosthetics.
Yeah, so I actually did a full cast. So first time being nude in front of like multiple people, first time doing like a full body cast. So that took, like, we had to prepare that ahead of time. I don't remember if we did the full body and the face at the same, like in the same night. But I know we didn't do it at the same time. But I actually still have the clay body. I have that in my shed, to scare people off if they ever go in there. It's headless and hand and feetless, but the rest of it is there.
Did they have? I'm assuming they had like holes cut out for you to actually put your arms in on the table when they did the scenes.
Yeah, I was actually under all of that. So they actually had a false bed, and the only thing that would come up it was like my my shoulders and my head were the only things that would come up out of it. And then like I could move down further, so that way it would just be essentially the body sitting on my like neck and shoulders. Yeah, they tried to create a an air conditioner, like one of those like homemade air conditioners that you put like ice in a bucket with a fan or whatever, and they totally placed the hole for it, like right where my butt would be. So I didn't get any air in that thing. I like blocked it instead.
So going into this movie, I want to know, one, how did you get involved with it? And two, did you know anything about the Guinea Pig series to like know what the hell you were getting yourself into?
So Byro was working on Bubba the Redneck Werewolf.
Okay.
And had a falling out with all of them, sold the rights to the film, and actually called Eric up and was like, hey, because Eric was supposed to be in it. He goes, hey, by the way, I'm not doing this anymore. We're going our separate ways. But I have to tell you something really big. He goes, I got the rights to make an American version of the Guinea Pig series. And I had no clue what it was. No idea. This is, how many years ago was that? This is when I was still like starting to get into horror more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So this was something I was not aware of whatsoever. And I half joking, half serious told Steven, yeah, I want to be in it. Like, you got to put me in it this time because Eric was going to be in Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. So he goes, are you for real? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. He goes, I really need another girl. And I was like, yeah, I'll be involved. And that was it. Still had no idea what I was getting into. Didn't watch the original films when I went into it because I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know what was going to happen. I wanted to be surprised.
What was your reaction while filming it then? I mean, like they start cutting up your body parts and everything. Like, what was your reaction with that?
So I really loved watching the special effects happen. Like, I loved, like, for example, when my leg gets cut off, Marcus is standing to the right side of me, like down on the ground, pumping blood, like fake blood and marrow out, and I'm trying not to crack up laughing because seeing this is really funny, like when you're actually seeing it happen. But with all that, like, Cayt distanced himself at first when we were doing it because he wanted to, appear. But then we're filming with Super 8, so like every 2 minutes you're like, everybody has to freeze, can't move. So there was one time where he was like sitting on me in my face, directly in my face, and he's like, are you okay? And at that point I was like, oh, you're just a big teddy bear, which he is. I love Cayt. And but with that, I had so much fun doing it, though. I thought the effects were cool, and I wasn't like freaked out at all until
just answered a bunch of the questions I was going to ask you.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You're throwing the information out there. That's what matters. Because I was going to ask you, like, what's like working with Cayt? What's it like working with Marcus and Steven? I was going to ask, did you guys? Because I mean, obviously, when you watch it, you can tell it's at least supposed to give the appearance of Super 8 and VHS, and I was wondering if that's how it was really filmed.
Yeah, so we actually used VHS, and poor David, when he was filming it, he had the battery pack to the VHS or that camera taped to his leg. Now, those old school battery packs,
they get hot.
Freaking, yeah. So I felt so bad for him. He was like burning his leg. It was, and then Van Beber was filming with the Super 8. He would move all around us, and he would film. There was like a level up because we were in this warehouse. There was like a level up that he would go stand up at and film. So that was it was cool though to be a part of that, to actually, the way film was made, how long ago, to actually be a part of that. And I think that for that being my first film, just that experience alone was really cool because you did have to pause. You couldn't screw up.
Right.
Whatever take was there, you had to do that. You couldn't mess around. You hear stories of that now of prior film and how we do digital. You could do as many takes as you want, but then, when filming with that, you couldn't. It was don't fuck up.
Fucking up was expensive.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
All right, Brian, what did you like about the movie?
I obviously all the special effects. I mean, that takes a lot of time to do and work with. And I can't imagine they had many bodies made. I'm assuming it was just the one body, right?
Yeah, they had and actually Ashley's body was my body too. They just made two of them.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. So two bodies. Yeah. So essentially, they could not fuck up.
Nope.
Yeah, that shows great craftsmanship that, they took their time with everything.
What was your guys' favorite special effect?
Probably the bleed out.
The bleed out, or when he first, when at the beginning, when he first cuts your hand off.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty fucking brutal.
I think the only scene that made me cringe was the razor blade to the eyeball.
Yep.
That was the only thing that made me cringe.
This time, I mean, having seen it before, it didn't get me as much. But yeah, the first one was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
That's tattooed on some girl's back. That scene.
No shit.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty badass. Yeah, her boyfriend is a tattoo artist, and he did it. And I'm like, yay, my face is forever on somebody.
That's pretty badass, honestly. All right, Brian, was there anything about it you didn't like? I mean, I know it's Cayt's movie, but we got to be honest here.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it, because I can give you guys my honest opinion of it, too.
The only thing I didn't like was how the cameras were switching back and forth between Super 8 and the VHS. I'd rather had it stay like all...
One or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. The VHS made it look a lot better, where the Super 8 kind of made it... I can understand they wanted the grittiness and everything of it.
More gritty and snuffy.
Yeah, but it when you keep going back and forth between the two, it kind of loses its touch, I guess. Okay. So I would have preferred it just to be one format or the other. Which, I mean, I think had they just filmed it all in Super 8, it probably would have been a lot more...
expensive?
Expensive. Yeah, I would say expensive, but I guess a lot more grittier.
Somebody actually thought we filmed it with an iPhone and used a filter.
I mean, these days that's always possible, but I could tell that wasn't a filter also. Or at least not an iPhone filter.
Yeah.
Plus, you can see the fucking cameras.
Yeah, you see both the VHS camera and the Super 8.
All right, what I liked about it, I liked not just the effects. Something else that I really liked about it was when 8 is sawing and it gets stuck and it wobbles and it gets fucking pissed off and he starts grunting.
Oh, he switches the blade over?
Yeah, it switches the blade over to a different one. I don't know if that was scripted or if he really got that fucking frustrated and just changed the saw, but I thought it was great.
It wouldn't cut. I don't remember specific. I remember the fact that we had to pause for a second so that way they could cut it in further because it wouldn't go through. But I think that's when he changed out the saw.
I loved that one of the saws was a direct homage to Guinea Pig, Flower of Flesh and Blood. One of the saws is exactly like one of the saws that the character in that uses. That ending fucking punches you in the goddamn gut.
Yeah. Which, on our end of it, we were just hanging out with them. And there's a great video somewhere of Van Beber with Lucio dancing around, and I think they were like singing or something like that. And I don't know where. I think Steven has it. But so we were just hanging out having fun. I knew the ending but didn't know the ending.
Yeah, that ending, that's if you can sit through that whole movie and just still the ending still doesn't affect you, you're a fucking monster.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that like you should be sitting there like fucking bawling your eyes out, but to be like, oh Jesus, that's fucked up. At least do that.
Well, did both of you know there is a story to what happens?
I didn't.
I did not.
So the story that was made up was that the camera guy with the VHS camera, that I believe I was supposed to be his wife, and then Ashley, or it was either me or Ashley was supposed to be his wife, and then we were all supposed to be related, and then those were the children.
Okay.
And that we had been kidnapped, and he was forced essentially to watch the dismemberment of his family. Is that known anywhere in there? Can you figure that out anywhere in there? No.
No, because I don't think. I mean, you know that his kids are being held. That's all you find out.
Yeah. But
and
yeah,
and that Ashley plays your mom.
Yeah, so that's what it is. As Ashley, Ashley's supposed to be my mom, and then he was, I think, supposed to be my husband or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so most people don't know that there is one.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So what my dislikes? Okay. Honestly, at times it just kind of drug on.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a 73-minute movie, it felt more like an hour and a half.
I'd agree with that.
And then when they're cutting into your face, that effect just doesn't look that great.
Yeah. When they're cutting my mouth.
Yeah, when they're cutting your mouth, that effect just doesn't look that good.
Yeah,
that pup head, though, is so cool.
I'm not saying it's not cool. It's still cool they did it, but I just it was obviously a puppet head.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, to where there was some stuff that you could tell because of budget-wise, they did what they had to do.
Exactly.
Right. But other than that, I really enjoyed the movie. Or I guess the special effects showcase. You can't really call it a movie. There's not much of a story to it, and there's not even a lot of dialogue.
Give her the special sauce. We wanted to put that on t-shirts. So I'll give you guys my opinion of it too. I have actually only ever watched this movie once or twice.
Okay.
The first time I watched it, I laughed all the way through it. The only reason I laughed was because of the fact that I knew what was going on and who was doing the special effects at what scene. So, for example, the scene where my leg gets cut, knowing that Marcus was next to me was hysterical because he was trying to stay out of frame, poor guy. And he was trying to stay out of frame, pump both blood and marrow. And, because they wanted that to definitely be more realistic. And yeah, just trying to do that all while we're filming in this freaking hot warehouse. So stuff like that, those are the things that I remembered the most from filming. Obviously, seeing the end was disturbing because, like I said, I knew the ending but didn't know the ending.
Right.
But all the rest of it, I was but overall, this type of film is not my thing, and it's not something I normally pick to watch. So I think that's why I thoroughly enjoyed being in it. Loved everything about being in it. But I think overall as a watch, I'm eh.
And yeah, this is definitely, even for horror fans, this is not a film for everyone.
No.
Some people couldn't stomach it. Some people just wouldn't like the look of it. Some people wouldn't like the fact that there's no real story aside from you and your mom get kidnapped and you're being dismembered on video for some benefactors. That's the whole fucking story right there.
I will say, I really liked being able to ride in that car. That car was cool. Although he couldn't see where he was going because they had filled the car with smoke. And then he had the gas mask on. So he couldn't see while he was driving. It was great.
Oh my God. Who is your hottie of the week? Or are you forfeiting this week?
Well, that was the thing. I'm well, I can forfeit it.
If you don't want to do it, Brian, you don't have to do it.
It would be you.
Oh, well, thanks.
It's you or Ashley. It's
Nothing against Ashley.
No, nothing against Ashley, but it's kind of weird picking your co-host. And I'm just
right. That's why I said, or are you going to forfeit it this week?
No, because then they'll just throw everything else off. No, I think we will definitely be going with Cayt this week.
Okay.
Well, thanks.
All right. So this week, instead of doing ratings, I'm going to ask two questions. Brian, what is your rating? And would you recommend this film to anyone else?
So because it's not technically a movie, by due diligence, I would have to give it a 2.5.
Okay.
Would I recommend it? Probably not to the mass audience.
Okay. That's
Only-
absolutely fair.
Only if they're sick and twisted like us.
Oh, you don't want to watch them squirm?
No, I definitely want to watch them squirm.
No, I know full well a lot of people would pass out watching this movie.
See, like, my girlfriend hasn't seen this, but I can't wait to show her to her because she has all 6 of the Guinea Pig movies. And on date nights, we have watched Mermaid in a Manhole and Flower of Flesh and Blood, so I know she can handle it.
Well, if she does, I want to know her thoughts.
Okay. I would give it... We'll go with 3.5 out of 5 droppers of special sauce. And to the right audience, I would recommend it, but like Brian said, to the masses, no. And Cayt, what about you?
So I have 2 ratings for it.
Okay.
So the first rating I think would be as far as special effects goes. And I think I would give that probably a 3.5, 4, somewhere in there. Because I love Marcus's special effects. But as far as a film, I love you, Steven, but I'd probably give it a 1 just because it's not my thing.
That's fair.
And I would recommend it to people as an endurance test. If they say that they can watch this stuff, then I would recommend it to them.
Also fair.
Oh, and dang it, I didn't give my out of cut up vaginas because I still have my vagina from the movie. Marcus has one and I have one.
Oh my.
That would be an interesting show and tell at your house.
Yeah, so I need to make a shadow box because I still have the panties. They still have blood, the fake blood on them. I still have the go-go shirt that has the makeup because they had to cover up my tattoo.
Mhm.
And the go-go shirt is cut along the side and re-sewn. And then I have bullets that were on the
table.
On the table, yeah. Because when Steven was moving, he got rid of a lot of stuff. And with that, I got some really cool, like, original guinea pig stuff too, like the Japanese.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'll have to find it and see if I can send you some of it because I think there's duplicates of the photos in there. But yeah.
All right, Cayt, what are we watching next week?
So next week, we're going to watch a fantastic movie called The Hurricane Heist.
Woo!
That will be a first time watch for me.
So it'll be interesting to hear what you think of it. It is a action kind of Die Hard type movie.
Well, I love Die Hard.
It is exactly as the title sounds.
Yes.
It
A
is
robbery during a hurricane?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No more, no less. That's pretty much
No
it.
more, no less.
When you had said you were picking Hurricane Heist, I was like, I bet that's a robbery during a hurricane.
Yep. And it was directed by Rob Cohen, who did the original Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
What? May have to choose that later on.
Oh my god.
Every time we choose a mainstream movie, Daryl picks an American Guinea Pig movie.
My next pick's gonna be Bloodshot.
Which I did actually get to go on set for that, so that was cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, so Hurricane Heist should be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will have to watch that sometime in the next week.
I just watched it, but I'm going to watch it again.
Always nice to have a fresh watch.
Mm-hmm.
Buy stuff from Nightmare Toys.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Buy stuff from Nightmare Toys for my birthday.
I got a lot of stuff coming.
I haven't bought anything in a bit, but I buy stuff from them frequently.
So,
I still need to go on their website.
Shame.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. I almost said watching. That's YouTube, not not a podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We will catch you guys next week. Bye.
Peace out.
I'm so afraid.
Saturday night at the moon.